Guys, today I want to spend a few minutes to talk about the tracks from my upcoming solo album No Edit No Autotune. By the way, thank you so much for your amazing support. Since it's my first solo album, I had no expectation, but since the first day I was very overwhelmed by your support, so thank you so much. There will be 10 tracks, 10 new tracks, because some of you ask me if I'm so cover or stuff like that, but not at all. 10 new tracks, and so let's start from the first one, the opening track, I Will Never Forget. For a few weeks I thought that was the first single, but then I thought that would be the best way to start the album. It's a great track in my opinion, very temperance oriented, but as the entire album, acoustic. So the second one is called Withstand the Storm. For this one, the working title was Mr. Big, because especially the chorus remind me a lot the acoustic stuff of Mr. Big, and I'm a huge fan of them. The third one is called Far Away From Home, and this song is the reason why I decided to do this album, because as the lyrics said, far away from home, flying from Mexico, discovering Tokyo. I was on the plane from Mexico to reach Tokyo, to reach the next Temperance gigs, and this idea came to my mind about this chorus: far away from home, flying from Mexico, discovering Tokyo. And then when this idea came to my mind, I was sitting in my place and I had to run to the toilet just to record on my smartphone. And then I decided, was the middle of April, to collect ideas and to try to build up an album, an acoustic album, and was a great choice. I'm very proud of this album, and Far Away From Home is a very party track. Then the first Italian track, because in this album you will find a couple of Italian tracks. This one is called Meravigliosità. The lyrics are very personal, like all the lyrics of this album. That's one of the first times in my life that I wrote all the lyrics. Usually I'm not the guy that wrote the lyrics for Temperance. Just for Hermitage album I wrote the lyrics, but it's a different story because it was a concept, it was a story. Then on the fifth position we have the first single of the album, We Were Not Supposed to Know. And some of you ask me, but we were not supposed to know what? Is a conspiracy, stuff like that. No, it's not a conspiracy, but it makes sense with the rest of the lyrics. So it's a very important track for me, and again, I receive a fantastic support because of this single. Then we have No Matter How, and as other tracks of this album, for sure the vibe is very positive, and no matter how it will happen, but you have to push yourself in every situation to follow your dreams, no matter how. Then a very romantic tracks, because we have even romantic tracks in this album, and this one is called Wondering Where You Are. And for sure this track talks about the moment when you are on tour far away from home, like in the previous track, but you are maybe sometimes overthinking, but you're thinking about what, in this case, your girlfriend or the people you love, what they are doing, or where they are, and stuff like that. And it's a very personal song. Number 8, another very party song, very AOR mode, Give You My Heart, and is very inspired to, again, I would say eclipse or heat or something like that in acoustic way, just to build up a party in the middle of the evening, of the night. Then Anonima, the other Italian tracks of the album. I'm very proud about these Italian tracks because, as you can imagine, it's my first language, first of all, so it's easier for me to write something. But in Italian, it's very difficult to write something with rock vibes or metal vibes. But this is a very cool track. It's very poppy, but a little bit sophisticated in my opinion. Then, last but not least, a song called Rustrel, and again it's very personal, and the lyrics is about some experience I had in the last couple of years all around Europe, and it was the only track that I wrote before to think about this project and this album, because I wrote every track of this album from the middle of April, from the plane from Mexico to reach Japan, to July, so in a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. But this one, Rustrel, I wrote it, I think, few months at the end of the last year, and I supposed to use this one for another project. But then when this album, when I started to work on this album, I thought it was the perfect ending for this fantastic journey. So, no edit, no autotune, and even even this video is not edited, so in one take only. Just kidding. Thank you so much for your support. This album will be out on December 13, so get your copy now. Ciao.